Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to give my NFL 2021 predictions right before NFL Sunday. I already missed it before Thursday Night Football. I apologize for that, but I am here now. So we're going to do this very quickly. Just going to tell you the records that I have for each and every team and why, give you my AFC and NFC Championship picks, and then give you my Super Bowl pick. And then tomorrow, of course, I will be here to recap the Tennessee Titans, hopefully defeating the Arizona Cardinals, but we'll see about that. But that's what I have, in case you were wondering. So with that said, let us begin with the NFC. It is already scrolling down below. Let us begin with the NFC East, where I have the Cowboys going 9-8. Trust me when I say, I had this before the Thursday night game. I had the Cowboys going 11-5 last year for a reason. Now, that did not pan out, as even when Dak Prescott was healthy, their defense was a disaster. But I said, okay, another year under Mike McCarthy. I think they'll have a winning season. If Dak stays healthy for the entire year, I think they'll have a winning season. I think Zeke will bounce back enough. And with the NFC East, I'll get to the other teams in a second, I just trust them the most because they have the best quarterback. Okay, really, they have the best quarterback, and I think that's going to be enough in this division. Now, let's move on to the New York Giants and the Washington football team. So, Giants, okay, going to be wild card-ish, but Daniel Jones right now, he's not bad intrinsically, empirically as a quarterback. But when you compare him to the rest of the league, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. The offense is still coming together. The defense as well. Can't have them as a playoff team yet. Washington football team. Ryan Fitzpatrick, sorry, I don't trust him. And I know he was a large part of why the Dolphins went 10-6 last season. That was in the AFC East. That was in, an AFC that to me wasn't particularly strong last year. And I just think he's going to be too up and down for this Washington football team, but also has young wide receivers. Offense is still coming together. I just don't buy it quite yet when it comes to the Washington football team. Quite yet. When they get that quarterback, okay, I'll buy it. I'll say 10-plus wins, and then that'll be it. Not buying it quite yet. And then Philadelphia Eagles, they're a transition to me. The offense is young. Jalen Hurts, I'm not a huge fan of. Devontae Smith has had his struggles already. They're going to have to figure things out to me. I have them 4-13. We move on to the NFC North. Packers only 10-7. I think the Aaron Rodgers drama, I think the young talent offensively, I think the defense has gotten a little stagnant. I think all the chatter and talk, I think it's going to limit them. And I think the NFC is a lot better than it was last year. Like last year, the Packers had an easy schedule, able to go 13-3. They have a much tougher schedule this year. I think they would go 10-7, but still win the NFC North by default. But I'll tell you right now, people are sleeping on the Vikings. I expect the Vikings to be right there for the NFC North this year. I don't know why people aren't talking about them. The Kirk Cousins drama, I think, will ultimately limit them as well, as it appears that the Vikings locker room doesn't buy into him. But Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, the offensive line's getting better. The defense should be a little bit better. They'll compete for a wild card, but I think ultimately miss out. Bears only 7-10. It could be worse than this. It could be a disaster. I would not be shocked if this was an absolute unmitigated disaster. But the defense is still talented, and I think this will be bad early. But then I think eventually Justin Fields is going to get his footing, and then they'll go on a nice 3-game win streak to end the season or something. But I think it could be 4-10, and then they win the last 3 games, and then you see some momentum building. But I think this era, Matt Nagy, it's just not working out. Lions 3-14. I actually like Jared Goff, but holy hell, the wide receivers are terrible. The running backs are unproven. The offensive line is unproven and young. The defense there's nothing there, really, outside of a couple of good players. Jeffrey Okuda still needs to develop. Way too much needs to develop right now. In Detroit, I have them 3-14. We look at the Bucs in the NFC South, 14-3. They should win it. They're not going to go undefeated. You can still see the weaknesses that they had in the Thursday night opener. While they have a great pass rush, the secondary is still young and, inconsistent. The offense itself is also inconsistent. The running backs are nothing. They're able to fulfill the roles, but they're not a formidable running back unit to me. It's only 14-3. They'll have their losses. Saints 8-9. Jameis Winston is still up and down as a quarterback. I think eventually they're going to throw in Taysom Hill. He'll be a little up and down. And I think with the Michael Thomas injury as well, the offense is going to be limited. Because while Drew Brees didn't need Michael Thomas, I think Jameis Winston needs a Michael Thomas to have success. I think Taysom Hill would need a Michael Thomas to have success. So Saints only 8-9. Falcons 6-11. They're not going to completely stink like some people think they will. Matt Ryan is still, I think, a top half quarterback in this league. Maybe not around half. Let's say around average. Let's say that. He can still throw the rock. Ridley's going to do well. Pitts is going to do well. They're going to put up points. The defense will stink, but it'll have its moments. So 6-11 for them. Panthers 6-11. Look, Sam Darnold has not proven himself as a winner in this league. And until he does, I can't have him winning anything. I mean, I just can't do it. Even with the more talented Panthers squad, I think they're the worst team in this division. I think it's close between them and the Falcons, but they're the worst team in this division, and that rounds out to about 6-11 when you look at the other divisions. We look at the NFC West. Now we're talking. People, I got the Rams 12-5. Legitimate Super Bowl contenders with Matthew Stafford at the helm. It's going to be interesting with the Rams, people. Seahawks 11-6. When you still have Russell Wilson, when you still have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Chris Carson and that talented offense, you have Pete Carroll doing enough on the defensive end, they're going to be a playoff team. Cardinals 10-7. Still don't love the defense, entirely. It's still coming together. This could end up being a failure, but I think they showed enough potential last year where it should be a wild card year for them. So I have them 10-7. And 49ers only 9-8. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's lost a lot of confidence. I think he's taking a step back. I think the defense isn't what it was a couple years ago. They've lost key pieces from a couple years ago. And I just think they're a little overrated. It was a great run that they had, but they're going to have to refigure out what their formula was because it was a perfect mix and perfect storm at the time. I don't think it is anymore. I think now they're just a league average, maybe a slightly above average team. But in the NFC West, it's an absolute mess. And that rounds out to about 9-8. They would win 10-11 games in other divisions. They're in this division. And with Garoppolo, I don't love that because he's the worst quarterback in this division now. Okay, that's without a doubt to me. So we move on to the AFC, where we start with the AFC East. Bills 12-5. No surprise there. Running game still concerns me. That's the missing thing for them. If they had a running game, I'd have them winning the Super Bowl. But the running game is still non-existent. That's why I can't be too bullish on them. Patriots return to the playoffs at 10-7. I like the Patriots this year. Mac Jones, I don't love him. He's going to be enough for them at the quarterback position. Bill Belichick is going to have the defense doing what it needs to do, the run game doing what it needs to do, and they're going to make the playoffs to me. Dolphins only 9-8. I love Tua coming out of college. I don't love Tua now. We might have a Marcus Mariota situation here, and I'm not saying that because they're both of Hawaiian descent. That's just what it looks like to me. It's like, where did it go? Where did the confidence go? Maybe he's just shot from getting injured. He's getting a little, pocket happy and whatnot. He's seeing goals. I don't like the Tua progression in this league. And the AFC East is slightly better with the Patriots being a little bit better, which make the Dolphins a little more limited. Jets 1-16, they stink. No one's proven on the team, basically. I do like Zach Wilson. But, that's it. That's all they have. The wide receivers unproven and pretty awful. Offensive line, same thing. Defense, they're starting 2 rookie linebackers. It's a mess. They need to figure out the entire team. It's a mess. There are some promising pieces, but it's going to be about 1-16. Just as the Jaguars last year had promising pieces, and they're 1-15. You can have promising pieces and still be 1-15. We look at the AFC North. Browns 12-5. Love the Browns a lot. We're going to get into that more in a second. Ravens, 12-5 still. And I think this might be a Lamar Jackson MVP season. Despite the running back injury, despite the injury to Marcus Peters, I still think Lamar Jackson is going to have a bounce back year and really pop off and compete and win, I think, MVP. And this is me saying this. We move on to the Steelers, 9-8, should be improved. But the offensive line is in flux. It's not the formidable, strong offensive line and veteran offensive line that it was a couple years ago. That was really the strength of their entire offense. And, just the youth overall, I think, limits the offense. They're still going to compete for the wild card and maybe even the division if the Browns end up sleeping and the Ravens end up struggling more than I anticipate. Should be a winning team, but I have them 9-8. And this might be a surprise. Bengals 7-10. Now, this is going to rely upon Jamar Chase getting his head out of his ass and learning how to catch the football again. But assuming he can do that, I have them at 7-10. We move on to the AFC South. Titans 12-5. Please, please, please. I know you think I'm being biased here, but you add Julio Jones to the fray and the improvements defensively. Oh, it has 12-5 written all over it, people. Colts 9-8. Carson Wentz, I'm not sure if I believe in him anymore. Let's see if Frank Reich fixes them. If he does, they'll be a playoff team. They'll be a 10-11 win team. But he went through an injury in the preseason. The offense, the wide receivers, I'm not really impressive and they're young right now. Can they get that rhythm going offensively? I want to see it first before I believe it. Jacksonville Jaguars 4-13. They still stink, and you can see that in their Monday Night Football game against the New Orleans Saints. They have some work to do, but they have promising pieces, and Lawrence will do well. And the Houston Texans 2-15, and they're going to win some games, people. I mean, I really want to give them 4, to be honest. I think people are underrating them just because of the whole Deshaun Watson situation. They're going to win some games. They still have some talent. Hell, more talent, I could say, than a lot of the teams that I've mentioned. Like the Jaguars, it's about the same. Maybe not the same, but it's close. The Jets, definitely. But it's just going to be a struggle for them this year, for sure. I would even say they're decently close to the Raiders, who we're going to get to in a second. Okay, AFC West, Chiefs 14-3. They're going to continue to run through things and do well. However, don't love the offensive line changes. Don't love the secondary right now. They're going to have some problems. And also, losing Sammy Watkins is going to be a bigger loss than some people are talking about. The Chiefs are not going to be unbeatable this year, people. Chargers 10-7. And I'm liking this 10-7. And if Herbert takes another step forward, it could even be a Super Bowl type contender here. It could be a sleeper Super Bowl contender here in LA. I'm telling you that right now. Broncos 9-8, and I like them as a wild card competing team, maybe even to win or to get the wild card. Bridgewater will do enough. Now, I want to see the wide receivers gel with Cortland Sutton back. I want to see that gel. But there's a lot of potential. I like the Broncos. And the Raiders 6-11. They're flat. They're stagnant. They're not drafting particularly well. There's not much excitement around the organization. I'm not buying it. They're the same team to me. So with that said, we move on to my AFC Championship game. Well, I got the Cleveland Browns versus the Tennessee Titans. I think that the Browns have everything that it takes talent-wise to upset the Chiefs. I also think the Titans, if they get into rhythm, also have everything that it takes to upset the Chiefs. Now, I think the Browns are going to lose opening day tomorrow. I think the Titans are going to lose to the Chiefs in the regular season as well. But I think when we roll all the way to January, it just feels like a year for the Chiefs to lose in the divisional to me. That's my intuition. That's what I'm rolling with. Who wins this game? Okay, my only problem with the Tennessee Titans right now, I'm not sure if they have Super Bowl level coordinators and coaching staff. And for that reason, I got to go with the Browns. Because the Browns do have more talent, slightly than us. And because I don't love our coordinators right now, I can't go all in. But it's going to be close, and things might change in terms of my opinion there. NFC Championship game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus LA Rams. I'm telling you, Matthew Stafford is going to have that team going right back to where they were a couple years ago with Jared Goff at the helm, the Super Bowl team that they were. Trust me on that. The winner of this matchup, though, I got to go with, this might surprise a lot of you, the LA Rams. That is right, I'm going with the LA Rams versus the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl. I told you, you go to this channel for a reason. You go to this channel because I give you predictions that you're not expected to hear. But that is the NFL sometimes, people, and we have to embrace it. But who wins it? Who gets it done? Well, I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe I'm going this far. But I ultimately have to go with, and it pains me to actually do it, but the LA Rams. I think the Rams are going to get it done. And Matthew Stafford, we've never seen him in the playoffs. We've never seen him in the Super Bowl. We've never. But I think this is going to be the year where Sean McVay gets it done. He returns to head coaching glory, and the Rams win Super Bowl 56. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the NFL season, upcoming 2021 NFL season. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. I'm out. See you all later.